Jake Gyllenhaal's latest 2024 mystery crime drama, The Innocent Sinner. As a prosecutor, he is entangled in accusations of murdering his lover. How will he escape this quagmire? Today, let's continue with episode 5. Jake's intuition tells him that Ryan is the real culprit behind the brutal rape and murder. However, his actions have alarmed Ryan, who starts to harass him in return. It's likely Ryan is trying to intimidate Jake, but he just ends up getting beat up badly. Jake's wife worries that Ryan might call the police, but Jake is sure he won't, as police involvement would bring him even more trouble. Old Ray stays late in the office working on Jake's case. After just a couple of sips of coffee, he starts feeling unwell, dizzy, and with a splitting headache. The next moment, his head explodes, and Old Ray wakes up from the nightmare. His wife, however, believes it's an ominous sign. The current evidence is very unfavorable to Jake, since there is no other evidence pointing to anyone else. Nevertheless, Old Ray firmly believes Jake didn't commit the murder. The next day, Jake surveils Ryan's home. After seeing Ryan send his wife off, he sneaks into the yard intending to look for clues. However, the dog in the yard spots him and starts barking non-stop, attracting Ryan's attention. The two lock eyes, and Ryan threatens to call the police. Jake tells him to go ahead. Clearly, Ryan won't do it. Jake says he just wants to talk. Afterwards, Jake reports the situation to Old Ray based on what he found. Old Bai had a motive. Though framed and imprisoned, he knew people on the outside. Black Sister learned from Old Bai's cellmate that Old Bai hinted he killed Xiao Ai. Old Ray was puzzled. If Old Bai was involved, where was the evidence? Jake bluntly said that in the previous case, Xiao Ai deliberately concealed evidence. Ryan's lighter was found at the crime scene, so Jake's suspicion was not unfounded. But Mia pointed out that Old Bai's case wasn't theirs. Old Ray flatly said that the testimony of prisoners is not credible. Even if Old Bai was involved, what did it have to do with them? Jake wanted to argue back, but couldn't come up with a better reason. Under the pressure of various public opinions, even the family began to waver. Facing her daughter's doubts, Barbara said her father was definitely not that kind of person. Meanwhile, Ah Wei analyzed the video frame by frame. When he saw the two being intimate, his eyes were filled with displeasure. Just then, a female colleague suddenly burst into the room, startling Ah Wei into quickly turning off the screen. Being one of the first witnesses to testify made the female colleague very upset. However, the ensuing questions made her even more upset. Ah Wei asked if the two had an improper relationship. Wo Shuo's idea made the female colleague storm out of the room. For Ah Wei, initially not recognized by Xiao Ai and even hated by her, it made her feel very embarrassed. Just then, Wenxiang came to the office. Recently, there have been many rumors that Old Bai had threatened Xiao Ai. Ah Wei understood what Wenxiang meant. Now that Old Bai was in prison, a definitive judgment wouldn't affect them. At Jake's persuasion, Ryan came to the office for a face-to-face confrontation. However, the result was very disappointing. Mia took out a photo of the victim and asked Ryan to identify it, but she stubbornly denied knowing the person. Ryan indeed was promiscuous and had been involved with many women, so she wasn't sure. Did you have any contact with the victim? When Ryan saw the photo of Lao Bai, he gave the same response. When Mia mentioned the scene and pointed out that her DNA was there, Ryan looked remorseful. If the two knew each other, Mia hoped she would tell the truth. But Ryan insisted that she had nothing to do with the case and had never seen Lao Bai before. The atmosphere at the scene instantly dropped to freezing point. If Ryan was not lying, it undoubtedly dashed Jack's hopes. On the other side, in order to win the jury's favor, Ah Wei made some bizarre remarks during an interview. In American society, the law has always been used to protect the powerful. But now, he wants to prove with facts that this situation will be broken. This remark made Wenxiang very upset. Ah Wei is eager to get everyone's approval. Whether it was before or now, the feeling everyone gives him is one of disdain, which is why he said that. Ah Wei's purpose is to win the jury's respect and goodwill. The next day, Brother Jay went out, and the trash can in front of the door surprised him. His son actually threw his bicycle into the trash can. Brother Jay went back inside to ask why. Little Jay said the chain kept slipping off, so he threw it away. This seemed reasonable on the surface, but at this critical moment, it was like trying to cover up. Brother Jay didn't dig deeper but picked up the bicycle and put it into the trunk. Afterwards, the two went to the rooftop to discuss countermeasures. Old Lei suggested diverting suspicion to someone else. Whether it was Old Bai or his son, the current situation left Brother Jay with no way out. Old Lei even suggested that Barbara was a suspect. Brother Jay immediately refuted this, saying his wife would never do that. Given this, Old Lei thought it was necessary for Barbara to testify to describe Brother Jay's state from her perspective. This would undoubtedly bolster Brother Jay's case for innocence. However, Brother Jay insisted and did not want his wife to suffer again. As the trial approached, everyone became tense. Under the watchful eyes of bystanders and the media, Brother Jay finally stepped into the courtroom. As a nationally sensational murder case, Brother Jay was undoubtedly the center of attention. Once everyone was seated, the judge formally announced the start of the trial. Prosecutor Ah Wei was the first to make accusations and introduce the victim, Xiao Ai. His compelling speech clearly swayed the jury. As for Brother Jie, what evidence would Old Lei bring to refute the charges? To find out, stay tuned for the next episode. That's all for this episode. Thank you all for watching.